Wonders, they say, shall never end. A federal high court sitting in Lokoja, Kogi State, has overturned NDC's registration. This is a big breaking news today from the federal high court in Lokoja, Kogi State. Justice Isah Dashen has dramatically set aside the court's own previous judgment that forced INEC to register the Nigeria Democratic Congress NDC as a political party. This is a massive development with huge implications for both P2B, Rabiu Kwankwaso, and many others who have pitched their tent with the NDC. Here is what really happened. In December 2025, the same Federal High Court in Lokoja had ruled in favor of NDC promoters, ordering the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC to register the party, that's NDC, after INEC initially refused to register NDC. INEC complied with the court order and NDC was officially registered. Around February 2026 this year. The party quickly gained momentum, attracting high-profile figures. P2B, the former Labour Party presidential candidate in 2023, and Rabiu Kwankwaso, former NMPP presidential candidate in 2023, they joined many others. P2B was affirmed as party's presidential candidate for the next year 2027 general election at a special event in Abuja. The party positioned itself as a major third force alternative, drawing defectors and building structures nationwide. But fortunately, today, Justice Isah Dashen ruled that original December 10, 2025 judgment was constitutionally defective. Why? Because he failed to hear from all interested parties, particularly the Peace Movement Party. The Peace Movement Party. Peace Movement Party on their own claimed that NDC used a logo, reportedly the victory sign, as you can see, on the NDC logo. That PMP had previously submitted that same logo years earlier, maybe as far back as 2015. PMP argued that it was a necessary party that should have been joined in the original suit. The court agreed that this amounted to a denial of fair hearing, and that was why the court needed to set aside its own ruling. Here are the consequences of the ruling. All action taken based on the earlier judgment are now reversed, nullified. NDC certificate of registration is effectively withdrawn for now. The party is removed from INEC's, official records. Any planned appearance on ballot papers or official recognition is on hold for now. The entire case restarts from scratch with NDC, INEC, and PMP all properly joined as parties for a fresh hearing. The status quo restored to pre-December 2025 position. The court emphasized due process and fair hearing as fundamental. Now, this is what this thing means. This is what it means for P2B, NDC, and many others. The party, this NDC, which has now been gaining rapid traction as a vehicle for opposition unity, has now been plunged into legal limbo. Structures built, memberships registered, congresses planned, and resources invested are in uncertainty. As NDC is in great confusion right now. NDC has expressed shock. They have responded to this ruling, rejecting the ruling, and announced plans to appeal to the Court of Appeal. Their national chairman, Senator Moses Cleopas, insists the party was duly registered and will fight to restore its status quo. This is unbelievable to me. You never can tell what the APC can do to the opposition. Someone said Buhari allowed the opposition, but Tinubu doesn't want to see any opposition in his bid to retain the seat of power next year, 2027. Is a total disgrace. Without confirmed registration, securing a spot on the 2027 ballot becomes complicated and time sensitive. It comes with even momentum loss. The hype around Obi Kwankwaso in NDC helped attract defectors and many people joining the NDC, pitching their tent in NDC. But as of now, this could bring about delay. It could cool supporter enthusiasm or push people back to other parties like Labour Party, ADC, PDP, or APC. P2B will really need contingency plans. If the fresh hearing drags or goes against NDC, P2B could face tough choices about platform, and he can't defect at this point. he can't actually defect to any other party at this point. It's already late. However, I know that his personal popularity remains a strong asset regardless of party label. But for now, resources for legal battles divert from campaign building, voter registration drives, and nationwide structures. They need to face a huge legal battle. This will somehow frustrate them from organizing any campaign. It's a calculated plan. You will see that the judge will set the hearing now, maybe around September, around October, set it around November. So before you could even come out of this court case, election is just 1 month ahead. That's the big plan that APC has. And NDC did not realize this. How can PMP, no one, I've never heard of PMP before. It came up that they already submitted the victory logo sign for their own party to be registered with that logo sign since 2015. Then NDC all of a sudden came up last year and submitted the same logo sign, and it was approved by INEC. So they have a strong case. This is not a small, because if they have already submitted this victory logo sign for their own party, and NDC now used it, this is what Senator Seriake Diskin should have done earlier, not for him to come and be speaking like, I don't even know how to describe him. You have your own presidential candidate in NDC, and then you are going from one media house to the other, that no one is more qualified than you as a presidential candidate. Now is the time for him to prove to us that he's a worthy and a leader of the party. He should have done this underground work, knowing that you are dealing with snakes, green snakes in green grass. So APC have now dealt a big blow on him. He was just going about P2B is this, P2B is that, obedience should do this. Now, he is going to now face obedience. Obedience will do major big blow on him because he didn't do what he's supposed to do. It's not just about registering the party. Did you do your due diligence? For me, if at the point of registering this party and they realize that someone has already submitted a victory logo, why can't you change it? What is wrong with changing a logo, a logo of a party? You should have used any other thing. There are many logos you could have used. There are many things you could have used to register your party. Why would you use that victory logo? Now, PMP have a strong case. PMP said they submitted this victory logo since 2015. The gap between 2015 and now, I think, is more than 10 years. 11 years. 11 years and counting. So NDC just started everything last year and concluded this year. So PMP is positioned to use that victory logo sign. So that was why but my problem is, how on earth will a federal high court set aside their own ruling? You have ruled that NDC should be registered with the victory logo, and everything went well since last year. All of a sudden, you came up again that it was ineffective. Were you not the one that gave the ruling? To me, it's paradoxical. You are now setting aside your own ruling. Not that it was a court of a lower jurisdiction, a court of competent jurisdiction, not even a state high court, a federal high court made a ruling, gave a ruling for a party to be registered. And you came back again and said, you made a mistake. What were you doing? So I think maybe NDC and their legal team will have to capitalize on that. They will need a lot of background work. They need to do a lot of background work for them to be able to overcome these APC tactics. APC have a very terrible tactics. And Tinubu and his team, they are working overtime to ensure that the opposition is crippled. PDP is crippled. Labour Party is crippled. ADC is even in tatters. Now the NDC that everybody is building, every other person is building momentum, they have now scattered it. The only party left standing now is APC and Nyesom Wike's faction of PDP. It's going to be a long year. It's going to be a long year for all of us that want to see how this political madness we play out, because it's not going to be easy. There's going to be protest. There's going to be possibly a revolution. There's going to be a whole lot. If NDC is not in the ballot, at the same time ADC not in the ballot. Remember that last week the court ordered that ADC should be deregistered. All these parties, Labour Party, all of them should be deregistered. And somehow another court said, no, they should hold on and all that. These are tactics. These are tactics to cripple the opposition. So APC is trying to see which opposition party that has more popularity. So they have given reason why they will now attack NDC. They are also giving reason why they will attack ADC. So towards the election year, towards the maybe 2 months or 3 months of the election, they might want to bring up the case again, which we had last few days, where they said that ADC should be deregistered, NDC should be deregistered, all these parties should be deregistered. Something strange is going to happen to this country. Tell me how a party will be having issue with registration, will have to go to court again. We are less than 1 year to the general election. General election is January. We're in the 6th month, less than 7 months to the election. And then NDC is talking about going to court to see who first brought up the victory sign or victory logo. PMP said they are the one. I've never heard of PMP before. Never heard of PMP before. They claim they submitted the victory logo sign since 2015. How come the party is not registered? How come PMP wasn't registered? So how did INEC now accept NDC to be registered? Well, INEC might have their own, because initially INEC did not recognize NDC as a party. Possibly Senator Siriake Diskin and his team went to the court, and court ordered INEC to do so. INEC complied. Now INEC might have a strong case, because initially INEC refused to recognize or register NDC as a party. So there's a whole lot here, a whole lot. So NDC will really need to get enough funds to hire, renowned people in the legal team. Seriously. Senior advocates of Nigeria, well explained, maybe Femi Falana and many others. Because if they don't do that, I'm afraid this is a technical knockout for NDC, P2B and Kwakwa. So everyone who has joined NDC, this is a big, huge blow for them.